All right. Call the meeting to order at 6:03. Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? We have a flag?
Yep. Just a second.
Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Mary?
Oh, did Mary? I didn't see Mary.
Oh, is Mary here?
She's here.
Oh, good.
I will call her. Oh. Okay, Mary had a connection problem here in just 1 second.
Okay.
See her, she's on.
I see her. She's back.
One of the pages.
Okay, Mary, we are up to roll call.
Unmute, Mary.
Better?
Thank you. Yes.
You're welcome. Okay, I'm sorry for the delay. Susan
Here.
Seltzer, Kevin
Here.
Toohey,
Here.
Michelle Kaiser,
Here.
Yuquan Lee,
Here.
Barbara McInerney,
Here.
Thomas O'Brien.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay. Exits are wherever you are at home. Let's move on to review and approve the board agenda, please. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
A second, please?
A second.
Okay. Mary, roll call vote, please.
Sue,
Yes?
Kevin,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
Yuquan,
Yes.
Barbara,
Yes.
TJ.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. We move on to statements and presentations.
Okay. Yep, I'm working on sharing my screen and also admitting people.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure we were there.
If I do that, can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
All right. So thank you very much for your time this evening, board members and teachers and community members that are present tonight. We have done as quick of a turnaround time on this as we possibly could. We sent out surveys to our K-8 parents over the weekend, and we also sent out a survey to our teachers to find out how remote instruction is going and what feedback they had. So the purpose of tonight's presentation is to share that information. Okay, I can do it by clicking. So the first thing I'm going to go through is the teacher results. So the first question we asked them is just kind of how are they doing overall? And what we found is that 75% are kind of making it work, adjusting to the work and doing okay. About 25% has said this has really been a challenge for them, and we had one individual say they're really struggling with this. What I would like to say openly is if that teacher is on the call, please reach out to us. This was an anonymous survey, so we don't know, but we are here for anybody that's struggling or needs support, and please reach out to your administrator. Then we asked the teachers a series of written response questions. I read every single response from every parent and every teacher that we got, but I think we would be here until the end of the week if I started reading every comment. So what I tried to do tonight is share some quotes that represent the range of thoughts that were shared. So the first question from the teachers are, what parts of your remote instruction have been the most successful? And to break up the monotony a little bit, I'm going to have the administrators help me when I get to the quotes. But just a basic summary of their answer to this question is that the teachers have mentioned that they are becoming more proficient using Google Classroom and Meet as a platform to instruct students. Given the circumstances, teachers are learning quickly as many tools as possible connected with Google Apps for Education platform to ensure continuity of instruction. Jamboard, Kami, Screencastify, for example, and teachers are finding flexible and innovative ways in which to interact with and support the students' learning, balancing their own work at home and work lives. And I'm going to move on to the quotes and ask the administrators to start reading a couple of the quotes.
So what parts of your remote instruction experience have been most successful? I have been happy with the resources available for us to use: Storyworks Junior, Achieve, IXL, ReadWorks, Google, etc.
I've been assigning students all 3 assignments at the beginning of the week. This has given them the ability to, I'm sorry, my screen is a little covered there, to go as fast or as slow as they need to complete the work, which I feel has helped most of them balance their schedule and get my work completed.
I have enjoyed seeing the students' faces during meets. I miss them all very much, so it helps ease the lost time together when I see them.
Diane, are you muted?
My team has been very cohesive, and I've worked collaboratively to try to find ways to best roll out our lessons, assignments, and expectations. Google Classroom has been a very well-organized platform, in my opinion. This has been working well to assign work and students complete it. The communication with private comments and public stream comments has been continuous and fluid. Students respond back to written feedback on their completed work as well. As time goes on, the students are becoming more fluent with how to use it, as I am myself. The next question that we asked teachers was, what parts of your remote instruction are you currently finding the most challenging? Teachers are reporting that the most challenging parts of remote instruction fall into 5 basic areas: technology issues, preventing the effective synchronous instruction, low student participation and engagement in some cases, the extensive amount of time required to complete necessary communications, the low completion rate and quality of classroom assignments, and then significant hardships in balancing work and home life. Many teachers are feeling overwhelmed with the current volume of work for both themselves and their students. And some quotes that share that.
I am finding the live meets the most challenging. I have received feedback from parents that the kids are exhausted from being available for so many Google Meets.
Fitting in all of my work during my day, I'm finding myself doing work during school hours, late at night and weekends.
I'm finding the live video on Google Meets the most challenging. Students are popping in and out of the classroom. Students are telling me I'm frozen. They are frozen. They are emailing me saying, I couldn't get on, my Wi-Fi is glitchy, I couldn't hear you, you couldn't hear me, etc.
It's very time consuming, learning new, different techniques to support students and keep a clear mind while balancing home support too.
In which aspects of remote instruction do you feel you have demonstrated the most growth? I loved this response to this one, the responses to this one. The overwhelming response to this question surrounded the use and implementation of technology. Prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, teachers had varying degrees of knowledge of expertise related to technology and its instructional features. The introduction of the remote instructional components thrust some teachers into unknown territory, and they have risen to the challenge. allowed others to take a leadership role in helping their colleagues navigate the process, and overall opened up a whole new way for teachers to instruct, communicate with, and assess students. Quotes from the teachers include,
In which aspects of remote instruction do you feel you have demonstrated the most growth? At first, I was unfamiliar with Google Classroom and its different features. Now I feel comfortable using it and many other educational apps I had never used before.
I feel that I've grown most in the number of ways I'm communicating with students, parents, and other teachers. I'm using Google Classroom, Google Meets, email, chat and email, telephone calls, text, and video calls. I also feel that I'm growing in my ability to allow myself not to be perfect, to make mistakes and not beat myself up about it, but to assess what went wrong and redesign for the next time.
I would definitely have to say my use of technology and my ability to problem solve. I was always comfortable with using Google Classroom, but I feel that I've learned a lot of about new extensions, websites, and other tools. I am constantly looking up new ways to do things with my students and keep it engaging.
I have found different technological tools to make creating work and assessing students easier and more effective. I've been able to share some of those tools with my colleagues in hopes of making this experience better and more successful for others.
And then finally we asked, oh no, not finally, sorry. Next we asked, moving forward, what instructional adjustments do you hope to make? In summary, most of the teachers feel that the quality and completion assignments has decreased since the increase in live Google Meet sessions. The teachers feel that based on feedback from parents and students, providing pre-recorded video lessons where students could pause, rewind, and work at their own pace provided a better learning experience for some families. In addition, teachers felt that 30 minutes is more than enough time for a live meet, and any longer and you can begin to lose interest. Having live meets with smaller number of students was also more successful to provide extra help and allowed for personal interactions. Teachers felt that SEL, which is social emotional learning, live meets were great for all students to attend and interact with one another. The overall message across most of this feedback was that there are too many live Google Meets, and students and families feel overwhelmed and frustrated. So the teacher quotes with this are smaller. Amy?
Yep, moving forward, what instructional adjustments do you hope to make? Smaller Google Meets and book me time.
Students are taking longer to complete work due to the class live, specials, and related services. I would like a shortened length of time for live lessons, meets, and/or format of the delivery of lessons. For example, screencast recorded slide with voiceover.
Specials teachers meeting with an entire grade level is incredibly difficult to manage.
I feel if we recorded our lesson as part of their slideshow, they can watch it as they work, go back and rewatch.
I am also finding that the students are following all of their meets, but also putting off the classwork after being tired.
And then this is the final. Are there any other thoughts or questions you would like to share? There's a very common theme among the faculty about stress and anxiety, but not just for themselves. Many teachers shared concern about students and parents sharing their stress and sense of feeling overwhelmed. There are teachers that would prefer pre-recording, and there are teachers that prefer the live. Many of them echoed sentiments that they enjoy the live interaction with their students, especially the check-ins. Specials was a common thread as well, that having the live and the assignments every week felt like it was too much. Several suggestions were made on how to improve specials specifically. Lastly, many commented as soon as the lives increased, the work completion rate went drastically down. This was shared in group meetings with administrators as well as in the survey that we completed.
Are there are there other thoughts you'd like to share? We will get better with the remote instruction in the future, and we have to allow ourselves to be patient and learn as teachers in these unprecedented times.
This has been a very trying experience. For someone like myself who did not use this technology, I was lost. I had to rely on the constant goodness of other teachers who were willing to show me how to put this all together. I went from knowing nothing to feeling quite comfortable doing my Google Slides and meeting with students. I think this says a lot for our GWL teachers.
I feel a little off balance, but making it work. I worry though, about burning out because I feel that I'm spending so much more time working, prepping, grading, making weekly calls, holding separate Google Meets for kids who don't understand the online directives, emailing with parents that have questions, concerns, or need support, etc. I am genuinely putting my best foot forward and trying very hard to support everyone throughout this process, but worry about my own need for balance and downtime.
Overall, I think from a digital standpoint, it's worth working the best that it can be at the moment. It's very difficult to replicate a physical in-person education experience. The kids miss it, the parents miss it, and the staff misses it.
Sorry, I'm still admitting people as we continue. So I think board members, and I'll give you an opportunity to give some feedback in a minute, but what you'll find is, I think, probably very similar sentiments between the teachers' responses and then the parent responses as well. Anybody that's currently working at home during this time period is really feeling very overwhelmed and struggling to find a balance between work life and home life, and how to navigate that. And it's something that obviously gets better with time, and the messages from the teachers were very positive in terms of what they've learned and grown. But you know, everybody is feeling the stress right now. Teachers, parents, students, everybody. And then the last thing, we asked the teachers if they would potentially want some professional development, and you'll see those areas on here. So they indicated whether they were very interested, a little bit interested, not interested, etc. And Lena is going to be creating and leading some professional development in these areas so that we can support the teachers in the areas they need the most support. At this time, I'm going to stop for 1 minute and just go back to the lives and the people. And I didn't know if the board members had anything they wanted to share or react specific to what we just read from the teachers.
Just a quick question, and I think I may have missed it, but did you say you only grabbed a few of the responses, right? That's not all of them.
Correct.
Okay. Because from what I read, I felt like what you presented versus what I read was a little bit different. That's all. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss something tonight.
No, so I apologize. Go ahead, finish.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. You're delayed a little bit. I think it's because of the number of people we have. So I apologize. So I shared every single comment with the Board of Education. I tried to take a varying degree of information from the teachers. I tried to take some positives and some, struggles, etc. But you do have the full list. Any other board members? Okay.
Sue's trying to talk.
Oh, I can't see.
Kevin, Kev, did you want to say something, or you want me to go?
I saw you talking, but I couldn't hear you. Yeah,
I forgot to unmute. I just think I'm going to agree with Barbara. It's a little bit lopsided in what we've read compared to what's been put out to the public from the teacher's perspective. I know I read the teacher comments also. So I don't know. Anybody else?
No, I agree. I think it's about 50-50 in there, what I read. Was it, I don't think what we just saw is really reflective for the whole survey from what I read.
So what I will say is that a lot of the questions were geared towards, what are you struggling with, or what do you feel like you can improve upon? And there was really only one question, what can go well? And I think that the teachers wrote a lot about what is going well. So if you take the breakdown by that subject, but I will certainly go back and reflect upon that and see if.
Yeah, I just want to be able to present. I just want to be able to hear and present the whole picture, and I don't believe that was the whole picture.
Okay. I will go back and after our meeting this evening, and I will go back and make sure that it represents each question individually, that they have a range of the feedback.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome how much feedback you got. That was fantastic from the parents and the
Yes,
teachers.
thank you to the teachers for all
Yeah.
of that.
That's the only way. That's the only way we can all get better at this. Because it's
Right, yes.
and again, thank you to everybody. This is, this is a stressful situation for every profession right now. We're all living and learning as we go, and it's not perfect today. It's not going to be perfect tomorrow, and everybody's just doing the best they can as they can, and I appreciate it all. I really do, and I know it's tough on a lot of people. But again, it's tough on a lot of professions right now. And especially the people that aren't working at all, which is very difficult.
Okay, so there are teachers, they have concerns, they're having some issues. It's good that we're moving forward and we're looking to support them and do what we can. And with the professional development that Lena's going to be doing and everything. So I just want to say thank you for that.
All right.
What professional development?
Okay.
Say that again?
I didn't know. I didn't think we talked about any professional development. I said, what professional development?
Yeah, there was on one of the slides, it said professional development areas that they were
Oh,
going to be.
okay. We just haven't gotten to it for the public. That's all.
No, we did.
Yeah.
We did?
We did.
Okay.
I
Sorry.
didn't read anything prior to it. I wanted to read everything in the same way everybody else was.
Okay.
Okay, I will go back to sharing my screen. Oh, this here. Okay, can everyone see the presentation again?
Yes.
Okay. The second survey that we did was with parents, asking them about the survey results. And with the parents, there was a series of questions where there were multiple choice answers. And then there was a series of questions for and so you'll see both of those reflected in here. Again, not every single question is reflected, but I tried to take the ones that were representative of the trends that we saw.
Sarah, just make sure everybody's muted.
Yep, so if you're not muted, and if you could please mute yourself, from you, it takes over my voice. I'll mute all in here. Let me see, hold on. All right, is that better? Can everyone hear me now? People may have fixed themselves. Okay, so on average, how long does it take your child to complete all of their responsibilities each day? So what you'll see here is the green is K1, purple is 2nd and 3rd grade, blue is 4th through 6th grade, and 7th and 8th grade is the orange. So you can look individually for each color along the row, or you can look at times. And what you'll see is it looks like the majority are in the 2 to 3 hour range for time per day to do their work. And that is, I think, typical of what you would see in most school districts. Which statement best describes the level of parent support required? The range being they're able to do it completely independently to I have to help and assist my child daily with their assignments. So what you'll see here is kind of an opposite effect. The older they get, the less help and support they need. The younger they are, they need more support. So obviously in K1, there's a very large cohort. That's the biggest cohort where they need parent support in order to complete their work. And that is expected. These students are 5 to 7 years old and need support to complete most tasks in their lives, probably. And then in the 7th and 8th graders, for the most part, they're able to do the work on their own. And then we asked the question, how is your child's remote learning workload? And I'm going to show you this information in two different ways, just so that you can see a little bit of the difference. You'll see overall the majority is in just the right amount of work. You'll see some people that say they should have more work, and a greater majority, in terms of opposite sides of that middle, saying that it's a little bit heavy, there's a little bit too much work being assigned. So what I wanted to do was break that down a little bit, and I put it into pie charts so that you can see kind of by grade level range how students are feeling. So what you'll see is that just the right amount of work is largest in the 7th and 8th grade. But in K1, you'll see that, and also in 4-6, that it's a little bit heavy. So we looked a little bit closer at we're going to look a little bit closer at some of those grade levels. But you'll see that, you know, that I apologize. In Zoom, one person, I don't know how to make someone else a host. So I just have to keep admitting people. So if you look here, you'll see the range, and you'll see that in K1 that there's, and 2-3, it says, you know, far too much work is being assigned, the largest being in 2nd and 3rd grade. So we will be looking at reflecting on that and working with families and working with teachers as well. In K1 specifically, we asked about how the remote learning was going and the tools that they were using. And one of the things that stood out to me was related to how the students complete the work. So in kindergarten and 1st grade, we gave every student iPads, and in 2nd through 8th grade, we gave everybody Chromebooks to use. So I think in K1, there was a little bit more of a learning curve because they had never used Google Classroom before. They had used the iPads in school, but only to do apps, not to interact with the teacher and learn and type on. So I saw the greatest disparity here in K and 1, and that the K1 parents really prefer paper worksheets having been sent home. So that's something we're going to reflect upon. In fact, 90% of the parents preferred the parent worksheets. And if you look down at the emailed assignments, the Google Classroom assignments, they kind of do not prefer it. So we will be thinking about that as we move forward. Then another interesting, and I think this speaks volumes about our teachers specifically, is the opportunities to interact with the teachers. If you look everywhere, 90% approximately said, yes, it's powerful, and yes, it's working fine. So that's a good thing. They are enjoying interacting with our teachers. Our teachers indicated that they were enjoying interacting with them. And that's a good thing. You know, the live sessions, that you might have some hiccups, but I think the kids enjoy seeing the teachers and interacting with them. One of the other questions that really stuck out as significant was regarding the instructional videos, whether it be from the web, from YouTube, or some other instructional resource. Khan Academy is another one that's used a lot, especially in math, or instructional videos made by the teachers. Tremendous impact there with instructional videos being used. So we will continue to use those. This is sample data. I believe this is K1 and this might be 7-8, but it was across the board. And then we asked parents a series of questions related to how learning was going to get their written feedback on. So I'm going to read the question, and then the administrators are going to take turns reading the parent quotes about remote instruction. And again, this is a sampling of the larger amount of feedback that we got. And so I tried to include a range, whether it be within a question or across questions, to make sure that we got the full range of opinions. So question 1, was there anything you would like to share about what is working best for your child? And we are starting with, each slide is by grade level band. So we're gonna, for each question, there'll be K1, 2, 3, 4-6, and then 7-8. So question 1 is there anything you would like to share about what is working best for your child? And this is the kindergarten and first grade parents.
Having everything posted by every teacher on Monday is good because then I space it out through the week. Having a set schedule with meetings is helpful in planning my child's day along with my new work schedule as well.
She loves being on meets and looks forward to it every day. She loves hearing from her teacher.
She enjoys all IXL work and the EPIC books.
Recorded lessons and assignments to do when we are available to as a family.
And second and third grade parents said,
having the classes with their teachers every week. She learns more when the teacher explains and shows her.
I feel my child does well in smaller group meets.
Having a set schedule is a positive for my son. Having more structure within the school day helps to motivate his learning at home experience. Also, the weekly phone calls from his homeroom teacher are wonderful. This way I can communicate any concerns and we can work together.
I feel it was working best when they were just doing assignments on Google Classroom without the live meets. The time spent in live meets is very stressful on my son. It's making it very hard to get him to complete assignments after the meets.
Assignments with clear instruction and expectation. Reading, writing, and math lessons have been executed very well. The special classes are a little less structured and sometimes too many projects seem overwhelming to her.
Everything is going fine. Having things added week by week helped him become acclimated to distance learning.
okay, what's working best for 4th through 6th grades?
My son really, I'm sorry, Jeffrey.
Okay, you can, Amy, you can start again.
Okay, my son really appreciates and finds helpful the online classes. He feels like he is in class and the classes help clarify the assignments given.
We created a schedule of what work we do per day. Math we do on Mondays and do on.
The to-do list makes a big difference.
Having class with their teachers and classmates each week, it makes it feel normal for him.
The process has gotten better since the new daily schedule was sent out. The extra structure definitely helps our day-to-day organization.
The workload is perfect. He is enjoying doing the work on the Chromebook. The teachers are preparing work that is engaging, easy to follow, and fun to do. He enjoys the Google Meets, but in smaller groups is better due to having more time to interact with teachers and other classmates.
And finally, what's working best for children in grades 7 through 8?
My child likes to manage her own time, and this situation is allowing her to do so. She loves to see her teachers and classmates. The smaller groups are better, and the weekly call is enjoyable for her, and she looks forward to it. A later start time would be ideal, but otherwise, all is going well here with the remote learning. She's getting support from her teachers when she reaches out for questions, and she appreciates that. She misses them terribly.
I think that he has just enough work. He is getting his work done and understanding it.
Having the students linked with one teacher for weekly phone check-ins is wonderful. Having a routine schedule of classes is also working well.
When the teacher is explaining the work on Google Meets.
Meeting with classroom and teacher is good. Larger group meets with the entire grade level are overwhelming.
So board, I'm going to pause here. Do you want to stop after each question or do you want to wait until the end?
You can wait till the end.
Okay. All right, the next question we asked is what suggestions do you have that would strengthen your child's remote learning experience? So for kindergarten and first grade?
Small group live learning sessions are much more efficient than large group sessions. Also, packets of papers are best, especially for kindergarten, because they are learning to write. As a family, we don't believe in that much screen time.
It seems a bit silly to make a child sit in front of a screen for gym class or library class rather than go outside to play or sit and read a book, but I know my kids really enjoy being able to see all of their teachers. But I think the combination of virtual class on top of the assignments has become overwhelming.
I think it would benefit my child if instead of having the scheduled meetings with the classmates and teacher, the teachers send videos talking about whatever lessons going on that day for parents and students to view at any time of the day. Not all parents, students are home at the scheduled time and are missing these calls.
As a kid of 2 working parents, it is extremely hard for us to get any more assignments done than what is assigned by the regular teacher, which is still a struggle for us. I feel as if I'm taking 1st grade all over again because she is not independent enough and can't do this on her own.
Suggestions for strengthening remote experience for grades 2 and 3?
Less meetings with large groups for specials.
Not have so much to do for the special classes.
Remote learning has been stressful for my child because the amount of virtual meets and assignments. He does not work independently on most assignments and at times has trouble transitioning during the day. He is also receiving additional services weekly, so the amount of meets is more than other students.
Being able to have it recorded. My children are missing out on assigned times because we both work. They are not always able to work independently because they need assistance getting on their assignments.
I would like to have the workbooks that were left at school to come home to cut down on screen time. And my son prefers pencil and paper. He is not the best typer, so it takes him longer to work on the computer, but he is able to do the work on the Chromebook.
Go back to giving them a week to complete all their assignments and get rid of the specials. This is my chance to teach him music, art, gym, library myself, even Spanish I can do.
Grades 4 through 6 for strengthening their child's remote learning experience?
Should have the exact way from all teachers to do Google Meets. Send some links, some send emails, some go through Google Classroom. Not very easy for having it different ways.
Reduce workload. Homework for specials is adding to the regular workload. Stick to regular assignments when kids were in school. Currently, it is unmanageable considering we are 2 parents working full-time from home and occasionally in the office.
I feel like a more structured schedule of their regular school day.
I believe there's too much work being assigned, only the priorities, math, reading, and writing. The specials should be either virtual or an assignment, not both.
There should be classes every day, just as if school was in session.
And strengthening their child's remote learning experience for grades 7 and 8?
She feels that email contact with teachers is more helpful because they are very good about responding quickly to questions asked. We were just getting into a groove with assignments before this week of new meets / increased amount of assignments. Far too many Google Meets.
I think the last 2 weeks have been an improvement.
Less homework, more class time with the teachers, later start times.
Doing more work with the class.
A little less work.
And then we asked the question of the parents, and this is the final question: was there any additional feedback that they would like to share? So again, we're going back to kindergarten and 1st grade.
The phrase less is more would work best for the elementary school kids.
I would like to see more paper, hands-on assignments. There are cubbies in school full of vocabulary and grammar workbooks and probably stacks of math worksheets waiting to be completed. Is it possible to get these to our students?
This past week of remote learning was the best since this has started. It was great for her to have all of her classes live.
Great job, everyone. Overall, my child has learned new content through remote instruction. You must be doing something right.
Additional feedback from 2nd and 3rd grade parents?
Less is more. We do not need to overload elementary school students. Core is critical and something we are focusing on.
I'm concerned with the amount of weekly screen time.
I don't like the distance learning.
I think the school district has done a phenomenal job with remote learning. Other districts are nowhere near as involved and scheduled.
Remote learning has been very frustrating for working parents. I'm working daytime and my husband works overnights. They have to be able to work on their own without parental assistance. Having it recorded would give us the opportunity to review missed times and be able to view it on our own time. I feel like my children are missing out on their education.
Thank you to all the staff. We miss you all. Your efforts every day do not go unnoticed. We consider ourselves very lucky to be surrounded with the people who love and care for our children as much as you do.
Additional feedback from grades 4 through 6 parents.
I feel my child needs more instructional videos. Live meets are hard, especially for working parents. Children should be able to learn at any time of the day, don't just whatever time the school decides.
More specific time frames for each assignment. For instance, right now, most things are simply due on Friday. It would be more helpful for us in particular to have homework staggered and assigned throughout the week, so it's clear that a little bit has to be done every day.
Google Classroom assignments, flexible due dates by Friday, helpful since he needs assistance and we can work around my work schedule. Co-teaching shared assignments across subjects, reading and writing. Smaller group meets have been helpful.
My child is doing very well with the remote learning. He stays on top of his assignments and completes all his work. Nothing compares to being at school, but so far he's doing all he can do at home.
It's a stressful time. I think the extra Google Meets are adding more unnecessary stress for students. Fine for a weekly check-in, but very difficult for instruction.
And then additional feedback from 7th and 8th grade parents.
My son has an IEP, so we are working on ways to encourage and support this at home. But since I'm also working from home, it can be difficult to ensure he's doing the work during online meets, and he's shy about using the camera and mic, so his teachers aren't able to determine if he's needing help or direction.
I know parents in other school districts, and I feel GWL is doing a very good job. This is a very difficult time for everyone, and I just want to say thank you. One thing, if at all possible, I feel there could be more work given, even if it's review.
No more than 2 assignments per class, please.
My son is doing okay. The kids are falling into a routine, and it's definitely easier for them now.
We appreciate everyone who is involved with this process. We know it cannot be easy as one size does not fit all. Thank you for all of your hard work during this very difficult time in our lives. Be safe.
So overall, I hope you got a feel for the range of comments from parents. Board members did receive the full list of comments from all the parents for their review, and the administrative team received those comments as well. So for us, our top 3 takeaways from this are that in kindergarten and 1st grade, it does require a lot of parent support, and that makes it difficult, especially for the working parents. Specials was a common theme from teachers and parents alike, that the large group format makes it difficult, and many feel it's just a little bit too much work being added on to students. And then really, those were the 2 big main theme takeaways. In almost every other area, there were contrasting opinions. We're doing too much, we're doing too little. The live meets work best for my child. I wish we could have recorded sessions. Give my child less work, give my child more work. Friday due dates allow for flexibility. Friday due dates are too unstructured and you should have different due dates. That's the feedback that we have gathered from this, and we will be taking that feedback as we move forward and make any adjustments that are needed. Board members, would you like to share anything?
Anybody have anything to say? Comments?
For me, what I'm getting for the younger grades is the screen time seems to be an issue. But I also wanted to commend everyone, the teachers, the parents who are giving us the feedback. I'm going to agree with those who had said that I think that Greenwood Lake is doing a lot with remote learning compared to other districts. I want to thank the admin team for listening to the feedback and kind of, collaborating and getting together to see how we can tweak this to better, just to make this better for the teachers and the students as well. So, I really want to thank you for all your efforts.
Thanks, Michelle. Any other board members have anything to say?
Yeah, just real quick. I think it's, going through that parent feedback, you're right, it's all over the place. And I think it's, somebody commented in the chat box, and I agree 100%. Everybody's in a different storm right now. So every household has their own issues going on, inside and outside of school, inside and outside of work, inside and outside of personal issues that may or be family members sick, etc. So, I agree with Michelle. I think the younger grades are probably your most challenged right now, where that could be. I personally would like to almost see another survey in like another week, because a lot of the comments were, initially it was hard, but as we're adjusting, it's getting a little better. So, I think the survey, we were doing this for about a week when this went out.
This went out this past weekend.
Yeah. So, I think it's too early to know the full effect of what it is or what it could be. I agree the specials are probably need to be evaluated a little bit. Just from what I've seen with my own son and talking to other parents out there. But I think overall, it's, you're doing a great job. The admin's doing a great job getting this out. The teachers are doing a great job. Everybody had to move on a pin needle when this all rolled out and had to move quickly. And for what was thrown at us, what we threw back out, I think everybody's doing a fantastic job.
Okay.
I just want to say to the parents that this is an ongoing work, So, like Kevin said, the survey went out Sunday, this past weekend. We had a few days to receive, and Sarah had to reevaluate everything. And one more week I think should have been given maybe, but it doesn't matter. As far as the elementary school goes, I think I agree with Sarah. I think we talked about this a little bit, slowing down a little bit for the live classes for K and first graders. Maybe we can look into that in the future. I think the middle school, as time goes, I think middle school is doing pretty well as far as the students adapting to this type of learning. And I just want to reiterate about the teachers' responses. Yeah, what I read was a whole thing of positives and negatives and in between, so that we definitely have to talk about that a little bit more. I don't think we showed the whole picture to the community about the teachers' responses, specifically them. As far as the parents' responses, we really appreciate it. It really helps us a lot, because sometimes we can't just guess. We need some hard data to go by. That's all. And thank you, Sarah. Thank you, everyone, admin. You guys are doing great.
I'd just like to say a few things. First, thank you to the teachers for everything that they have done. We know it's not been easy. And also, when we ask for more information on the teachers' part, I'd just like to clarify that there was more positives out there, not more negatives. I don't want to sound like it went too far one way. And we'll just keep checking. This was never started to be perfect on day one, and everybody knows that things have to change as this world changes, and it's going to be an interesting couple of months. Does anybody have anything else? Anybody? Okay, Sarah, do you have anything else? Unmute yourself.
Sorry, my dog was barking before, so I had to mute. So I just wanted to just take a quick moment. It is Teacher Appreciation Week and also Nurses Appreciation Week. And thank you to all our teachers for everything that they're doing. They're working you know, their tushies off right now, and I really appreciate it. And thank you to all the teachers. And happy Teacher Appreciation Week. We do know
Yes.
how hard you're working.
Okay. We need a motion to enter into executive session for the reasons of collective negotiation.
Put out.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, Sue,
Public comment?
Motion?
Sue,
Yeah?
Kevin,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
Yukon,
Yes.
Barbara, TJ.
Are we taking any public comment in this at all, or answering any of the questions, or?
There's no public comment on the agenda. Correct?
So that's correct. During a special meeting, there's not usually public comment. There's usually only public comment during the monthly Board of Education meetings.
Okay. So yeah, make a motion. I agree.
Okay. Is that everybody?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for participating. No motion will be taken after our executive session. Our next meeting, let's see, on my other screen, will take place Tuesday, May 19th at 7 p.m. via Zoom. Thank you all.
Thank you.